every now and then you meet some crazy, mad, eccentric people, a little bit like myself. And when I met Yonathan Parienti yesterday, it was exactly the same. And he was like a soulmate who went from banking to philanthropy, and somewhere in between he's sort of lost his way somewhere. And today's story is going to be actually about how he lost his way. Maybe he found his path. Jonathan, welcome. Good to see you.
Tariq, good to see you as well. And it's good, to start by recognizing that yes, we are alive, and sometimes we meet, we feel the energy.
Yes.
We feel like the art and the empathy, and we connect.
Yes.
And that's what it's about. Our future. I think it's about whether or not humanity will be able to connect to itself and one to each other. How can we connect to build something more sustainable and harmonious for the world?
Brilliant. As I said, you started as a banker, and so when did you develop a conscience?
Well, I think it starts, before being born.
Okay.
It's like it starts with your ancestors. It starts by the culture you belong and the traditions. And I am a Mediterranean. My family has traveled, across Mediterranean Sea for centuries, and I embrace that mixity and diversity of cultures. For me, we can find in every being a beauty, and that beauty is about like the myriad of facets of the diversity we can find in the people that are connecting to us. So inspiration, I think it's a journey of curiosity, and I did spend many years in finance. Confronting myself with the reality of the financial markets and the capitalism system. There are some beautiful things, and there are some things that are just like removed from human feelings and humanity. So it's about whether or not capitalism system will be able to evolve, and it has to evolve. I am advocating for a more conscious capitalism, and this like you learn this through the experimentation of the shock the financial system has experienced, the 2008-2009 crisis, 9/11, and many other moment over the last 15-20 years. What you see is what happened on speculation or on the financial markets have an impact in people's life. And we cannot continue to live in a world where 90% of the world population have not real access to its ability to engage in ownership of their future. We have to enable a more sustainable and inclusive economic system.
And I understand that. When we talk about a financial crisis, yes, it was a moment in time, but the system is fairly broken, isn't it? I mean, there's a lot bubbling away. They're just going to get caught. And when they get caught, they get, a penalty of $1, $2, $3 billion, which in the context of their balance sheet is a rounding error, and nobody even thinks about it. So I think crises wake us up. But what's the fundamental issue that needs to be addressed within the financial and banking system? Is there a problem there?
Well, the challenge is not only about a field or a sector. The challenge is about us, human beings. How we gonna, realize that we are sharing the same planet, that we are depleting at the moment the resources, and that it's much better to build something where everyone belongs to the future than only like a fraction of us. So it's about empathy, it's about philanthropy, it's about giving back.
Sure.
It's about being able to realize that we are not alone, and we are sharing this planet with people with dreams and aspirations. And unfortunately, many dreams now are asleep because we do not enable people to feel there is hope to achieve something meaningful in their life.
I see a lot of polarization going on. At the moment, the top 3 or 4 families in the US have more than the bottom 50%, and maybe up to about 50 families and corporations in the world will have about 50% of the world's wealth. To me, that disconnect is getting bigger and is there now, and is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And basically, whoever holds big data, big networks, big platforms, the Amazons of the world, the WeChats of the world, the Alibabas of the world, they'll just get bigger and bigger. And this class is going to get very, very distinctly different. What I'm trying to understand from somebody like you who has a heart and an emotion and an empathy, like you say, on the one hand, and on the other hand, you also have experience of the financial world. And in the middle, you're bridging it with blockchain, which is obviously a distributed platform, and is built around the fact that you can build it on trust. So how do you build those bridges? How do you make that difference? I mean, that's what I'm trying to really grapple with.
Well, the first thing is indeed, not accepting the status quo.
Mm-hmm.
So when I quit finance and when I started to develop this social network for social good, it was about, like a dream to connect for positive and meaningful interactions, to learn and be inspired one from each other. So that's the first dimension, the connectivity. We can connect for good. That's real. It exists. We have 300,000 people in 180 countries that now are exchanging without nombrilism, sensationalism, hate or violence. So this is a reality. Now, this reality has to be expanded. And we have, like many initiatives around the world that can, like join forces with that new movement. It's a movement for empowerment of the people. And the second thing is about, as you say, there is, like a disconnect on how wealth is created and how wealth is not distributed or allocated or shared. And this is something which is now have sufficient, like track record that we know we have to change something. So my take on that was how can we build a system or a methodology that will support active philanthropy where you don't have to think about it too much.
Yes.
Because when we think of it too much, what happens is nothing happens. So we have to make something where everyone can be participative, and that's what blockchain enables. It enables a traceability, it enables a decentralized system. So I develop a digital currency, which is called Horyou token, and on every transaction, there will be that very small percentage, 0.01 to 0.1%. We call it proof of impact. And on every transaction, that proof of impact will go to the cause that the people want to support. And we connect that with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals that has been signed by 193 nations. So we have this backup as well, that governments, most of the government of the planet have agreed on the 2030 agenda to build a more sustainable and inclusive world. So on one hand, we have, like an action from government. On the second hand, we have a disruptive technology, blockchain, and social networking, which exists now. So it's always about one thing. What do we really want, us, the people?
Let's look at the backstory, Jonathan. Was there a moment in your life which was the trigger, which was the ignition, which was, what took you into this direction? Because we all have our own epiphanies and our moments. What was your moment?
Well, there are always several moments. There are a succession of moments. Some are more personal, and they are, like sometimes about the feeling that you have been given a second chance, being alive. The other moments are moments where you realize that the system is a lot about noise. It's a lot about, like a desensitivity on the aspect of the consequences that we undertake in the actions we do because of maximization of profits or maximization of performance, and we don't really look at the human consequences. So when we look at, for instance, innovation as a whole, we know innovation cannot be stopped. But at the same time, if you innovate, and by innovating you are destroying, like all the works, the tradition, the craftsmanship, and people are losing jobs, people are losing, their purchasing power, people are losing their dignity. Is it real innovation? So innovation has to bring something positive for the people. And we have to do it in a transversal way. We have to do it in an inclusive manner. We have to take care of the consequences of our actions. We cannot be perfect as human, but for sure we can work with a more longer term and longer vision on the actions we initiate. And if everyone starts to think a little extra of visionary aspect, then we will, work more hand in hand. We will be less into, like sterile competition, which end up in monopoly. We have to make something which is more sustainable, and where we think about, I do something in a country, but what's the situation of the population?
You've got a formula, UN Sustainable Development Goals is a worthy cause, and I understand that. but it's also a big organization and has all its inefficiencies and so on. Do you use your Horyou tokens as a currency for more defined projects anywhere outside? I want to reach 1 billion kids on education and learning. I have created a platform myself. Can I reach out to you, or do I have to go through the UNDP part of it and then get into the politics of it? I'm not interested in politics. I'm interested in bringing about change. My company is called MAN. It's about making a difference. So, I mean, I am as authentic as you will get. But what I always worry about is the moment you get stuck in this big environment, this big ecosystem of policy and process and stuff like that, we just lose the plot. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts are very simple. We are not here, like just to talk and no action.
Yeah.
We are here because there is an urgency.
Yeah.
That urgency passed by concrete actions for the people.
Right.
And for the people that are really willing to make an impact at local, regional, or national levels.
Right.
So on our social network, the users and the people are choosing which of the SDGs they are connected to.
Brilliant. Okay.
And then the community will bring visibility by plebiscite, giving lights, so not likes, but lights, of the inspiring people, projects, non-profits, change makers and innovators.
Right.
And the more lights they will get, the more Horyou tokens they would receive. And the Horyou tokens will go directly to their wallet inside our platform. So there will be no possibility of hijacking the funds. That will be directly given based on the concrete actions and plebiscite by a worldwide community of social good doers. So in that regards, to answer your question, yes, we can now skip the talks and no action. We can skip the aspect of just pretending, because there is no more time for that.
Sure.
We really need to embrace on all parts of the world and support the people that are the believers of a more harmonious and inclusive world.
I'm so happy that you're saying that, because I think authenticity is just one of the key elements. I mean, we've got to that stage in our lives where we can't reach perfection, but we can be authentic, we can be honest, we can be real, and I think that is where we want to go. Yonathan, can you take us through a user experience, please? I start using your tokens and 0.01% goes away. What's that journey? Can you just share that journey with us? The full customer journey.
Well, the journey will be that ideally you have a passion. You want to share that to a worldwide audience. You join our social network, whether as a member, as an individual, as a thought leader, or as a non-profit organization. If you have, like a social enterprise, you can contact us, because we are as well opening the platform for companies that want to make an impact for the world. And then you share what you believe and what you do. You share it in a way which is, respectful for diversity, in a non-political or religious aspect. So those are the two things that are not, present in the platform. We want people to respect everyone from all the different, way and stake of life. And then people in the community will interact with you. You will receive lights. You will start maybe to adapt and adopt the Horyou token in your business. You will maybe buy Horyou token, purchase it, and use it, to buy or sell product or services that have, making impact.
Right.
Then, as a user, you will receive as well Horyou token based on that, commitment and plebiscite by the community. So, what is important is digital currency to exist, to have a real value. It's about usability.
Yeah.
It's about how it's going to be really used in real life. And then, based on that, we will see over the next few years, hopefully, millions of people that are doing great things, that will be part of that ecosystem, that will open as well their door to that ecosystem. And based on that, we will all gain momentum and strength, and purchasing power will be shared, and we will all understand that we belong to the same planet.
How can we contribute to you? What are the things that you're looking for? I mean, millions of people will watch this video. What do they need to do to engage with you?
I think we need coherence. If we want to own what we share on internet, let's do it on platforms that are really socially good.
Sure.
Let's engage as well with the change makers, the innovators. Let's connect with them and share how we can build synergies one for each other. So it's about first the synergy we can build. the partnership we can build.
Right.
And then on digital currency, there is not only a place for speculation. You can as well have real projects with real traceability that can benefit the full worldwide community of change makers. And then that's our choice. If we all embrace that, if we all, look for solutions that have an impact, then yes, in 1, 2, 3 years, we will see in our eyes the sparkle of hope that will have grown, and the understanding that yes, we can make it in the short time ahead of us. We can make a little change in the human trajectory for the better of all.
So, where do I sign? How do I start?
Well, I would be very happy to welcome you as a thought leader because you are a believer in people and as well in change. And from all parts of the world, we have that energy that is growing.
Yeah.
And if we can make that energy empirical evidence, and if we can learn and accept in humility that the beauty of diversity is our chance, then everything is possible.
Okay, I'm good to go. Now you're a very young man. Let's assume this is your 100th birthday today, and we are celebrating Yonathan's 100th birthday, and we are looking back into your life. What is your one ultimate dream that you would love to have achieved that we would be celebrating?
For me, my dream would be very simple. I would like to see in people's face a smile.
Okay.
A smile of hope, but as well a smile that they are contributing for the better and for generations to come.
Wonderfully inspirational comment. Thank you very much, Jonathan. All with you, my friend.
Thank you very much, Tariq.
All the best.
Thank you very much.